So welcome to the video. Today we're going to have a look at the tiny 12 foot by 12 foot veg fruit garden. So in my garden we have this big pond which is like 14 foot by 16 foot, which is pretty big. Plenty of fish in there as well, as you can see. We've got some strawberries. So we sectioned this off mainly because of him. Now, as beautiful as this dog may be, he will pee and poo anywhere he wants. Look at him, cute though, isn't he? So yeah, so we sectioned it off just to have our own little veg patch or little allotment style garden, but it is very small. So it's about 12 foot from here to here, and then from 12 foot from there to there. So everything in here is grown in fabric pots. Now, as you can see, if you're worried about anything growing in fabric pots, you shouldn't be. We've got a fruit tree here, a fruit in really nicely, and not just a little bit. There are loads of cherries on this tree, you know, everywhere, looking really good. And that cherry tree's only been in that pot 2 or 3 years. So basically we do your basic stuff really: onions, potatoes, cucumbers, tomatoes, that kind of stuff. So we'll have a little flick through here quickly. We've got I've just planted this recently, which is a little blackcurrant tree or shrub, whatever you want to call them. So hopefully we'll get some blackcurrants on that, and that's in a small pot. And these grey pots hold about 60 litres of soil, so quite a bit. So normally I put like 4 or 5 onions in there with some spring onions scattered through them, and put some eggshells on there just for a bit of nutrition, keep some slugs off, that kind of thing. These are ones that I planted earlier, slightly earlier in the year, as you can see, and they are doing really well. We've got onions in that one as well, and then we've got potato. You can see these starting to come up now. And each year, you know, we'll probably get a solid amount of potatoes, a solid amount of onions, whatever you want really. Like these trees, for example, I've just put these in the pots for a bit of fun. We've got some tomatoes. This is actually a pear tree, which the ants seem to love. There's no fruits on this year. It's growing really well though, so I'm hoping next year it will grow pretty well. But I do like having it sectioned off like this, you know. I can come over to the pond, have a little barbecue. Yeah, this is like your mini barbecue. Tiny little thing, you can fit 4 burgers on it. But it's great for us, there's only 2 or 3 of us, so, you know, we've got the pond here, which looks really good. And we do have herbs then scattered throughout the garden also. And then another thing that's within this area is a small, I think it's 8 foot by 3 foot, little cheap £30 greenhouse. Now we've had this greenhouse for about, let me try to get you a better angle of it. We've had it for about 3 years, and there's not much going on in here currently. So the plan is we are kind of, as you can see, it's 109, nearly 110 Fahrenheit in here, which is 43.2 Celsius. Minimum has been is 5 and the maximum has been is 44. So it is quite warm. So we've got some peas being planted out recently, some cucumbers. Again, we've got some spring onions, white and red. Some more cucumbers, just trying to get those to go, trying to germinate those. Tomatoes. Some slugs have been at there, so I have been on slug patrol in the middle of the night. Again, some onions, so there's not a lot going on in here currently. As you can see, I might even leave the door open in there just to get a bit of air in there, because it is a bit stuffy. There's not a lot going on in there currently. So the plan is, we are kind of in the process at the minute of moving house. I don't know if that's going to be a long process or a short process, I'm not sure. Unknowingly I've entered a chain that I didn't want to be in. But what can you do if you want to move, eh? So in our new garden we should have a lot more space, but I wanted to show this small 12 foot by 12 foot section of this small little allotment garden, whatever you want to call it, just to show anyone out there with fabric pots what you can do. Now, you don't have to have 6 or 7 or 8 pots like me. You could have just 1 or 2 on a balcony if you're in a flat, or if you've got a small part of your garden you just want to section off like this. And as you can see, he loves it in there. But yeah, so the plan is we're just going to leave these as to grow out now. I'll do a little update in a couple of weeks. Maybe I'll do an update like once every 2 or 3 weeks, just to kind of give you guys an update on what's going on. So yeah, if you want to see more from this small concrete jungle allotment, you know, follow in the process and I'll show you how I get on. But yeah, thanks for watching guys, and I'll see you in the next one.